Our products are organically sourced natural healthy foods from Nigeria, West Africa, sourced directly from the small local farmers. At Naturalike, we believe what you put in your body and on your body can dramatically impact your health and well-being. Boost your energy levels and satisfy your cravings with a healthy dose of natural sweetness from our products. We're excited to help lead African foods and products into the global health and wellness markets. Follow us on Instagram at Naturalike, on Facebook at Naturalike LLC, and YouTube at Naturalike TV. These organically sourced foods are available at our Amazon store, amazon.com/Naturalike. Email us at naturalikeproducts@gmail.com.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Monday is going well. I hope you're off to a great start of the week. You know what to do. Hit that like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate the support over the years. It really means a lot. And make sure you support Naturalike. Again, please support Naturalike. I have a few of his products. The mother of my child, or I guess that would be Mansa's aunt, the mother of my child's sister, loves the BSAP leaves, or the Zobo. So it's not, they're products direct from Nigeria. So in Nigeria, BSAP or hibiscus is called Zobo, Z-O-B-O. Again, Z-O-B-O, Zobo. They love that. I had the roasted peanuts, some of the seasonings, very good products, directly imported from Nigeria. Again, directly imported from Nigeria. So please visit Naturalike, the commercial that just played. Please visit Naturalike and get some made in Africa products. Before we jump into today's topics, or have a couple of announcements. Everything that's going, you guys have no idea the amount of infrastructure projects that are taking place right now in Nigeria, in Lagos. Lagos is turning into a world-class city, and people continue to sleep on Nigeria, and I just don't understand why. Why are you sleeping on Nigeria? You have the trains now. You have the third mainland bridge. A fourth one is coming. You have the new airport terminal. Every time I go, there are road projects going on to better the road. So, I mean, you still have the African massage in some places, but I tell you this, I live here in Atlanta. I live right here in Atlanta. And some of these roads are terrible here in Atlanta. Absolutely terrible. In the area where I live. Potholes and everything right here on how is BSAP called in the West? Some people say hibiscus or BSAP. In Nigeria is Zobo, in Ghana is Zobolo, in Gambia is Wanjo or Wanju, Wanju, something like that. But in Senegal, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, it's BSAP. But the infrastructure projects that are taking place right now in Nigeria to improve the country, give it time. Give it time. I don't see any other infrastructure projects on this level taking place in any, shadows. Clean my beard. Sorry about that. Taking place in any other countries in Africa on this level, except for I think they built a whole new city in Egypt. And then I think there's a huge dam project taking place in Ethiopia. But once Nigeria figures out the the whole electric power issue. You have the Dangote refinery. You got the refinery that's finally live. Diesel and jet fuel is being refined and produced, if that's the right term, at the Dangote refinery. And then I think regular petrol is coming down the line soon. And once that happens, gas prices are going to be cut drastically. Because this whole EV and electric car, shifting towards, Dakar, Senegal. I'm sorry, I forgot about Dakar. Dakar as well. You're absolutely right. I forgot about Dakar. In fact, we'll be in Senegal it's already April 22nd. We'll be in Senegal in about 3 weeks for the Jazz Festival. Again, we'll be in Senegal in about 3 weeks for the Jazz Festival. Looking forward to that. Got a full crowd for that. Everyone who's rolling to the Jazz Festival with me, thank you. Thank you so much. But Jose, I forgot about Dakar, Senegal. Dakar, Senegal as well. So these infrastructure projects, man, they're coming down the pipeline. The refinery, the Lagos Calabar Road, that's coming, that's already started. So Nigeria is going to have its own PCH. So if you're from Cali, if you lived in LA, if you've been to Malibu, Santa Monica, Venice, Redondo Beach, all the way up to come on, Dinas. What's the name of the hold on, I gotta look this up. Los Angeles, what's the name of this community? Rancho PV, Rancho Palo Verdes, Rancho PV, up through Rancho PV, down to Santa Barbara. That's PCH. So Nigeria is building its own PCH. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So yeah, don't sleep on Nigeria. It's going to be a financial hub. And I found this video. In fact, I uploaded it on my page. Let me pull it up real quick. In fact, let me get to the announcements first. All right. Let me get to the announcements first. So please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit Donfo, DANFO.Africa. We are rolling to the Oshun Festival, August 4th to the 13th. August 4th to the 13th, we are rolling to the Oshun Festival. We have 4 spots remaining. We have 4 spots remaining. Would love to have you all come and enjoy the Oshun Festival. Also, we are rolling to Zanzibar for Safari Blue. Zanzibar for Safari Blue, September 22nd through October 1st. September 22nd through October 1st. We are rolling to Zanzibar for Safari Blue. We'll love to have you. We have 5 spots remaining for Zanzibar for Safari Blue. We'll love to have you all come and visit Tanzania, come and visit the beautiful island of Zanzibar. And secretly, Kojo, come roll with us in August. Sierra Leone has the nicest beaches in West Africa. The nicest beaches I've seen so far on East Africa, Zanzibar. Now, I haven't been to the Seychelles yet, but Zanzibar, by far, some of the nicest beaches I've ever seen. All right, so visit Downfall of Africa. And if you have not bought the documentary, guys, if you're watching this, if you have not bought the documentary, click that documentary button, that documentary link on the website, and please purchase the documentary. Sierra Leone, Freetown has the best beaches in West Africa. Sierra Leone by far. So let's jump into today's topic. Let's start off with Lagos becoming a financial hub of the world. And this is coming from the mayor, I'm sorry, not mayor, governor of Lagos State. And he has some inspiring words.
Thank you. So we're at a Lot Mayor's show, right? And it's an opportunity for us to just depict what Lagos is all about. Lagos, I mean, to set it straight, is the largest city in Africa, right? Is the biggest.
Right. And the governor of Lagos I actually met him in passing before, back in 2019 when the previous governor was transitioning out and he was transitioning in to his role. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State. So let's start this from the beginning.
Thank you. So we're at a Lot Mayor's show, right? And it's an opportunity for us to just depict what Lagos is all about. Lagos, I mean, to set it straight, is the largest city in Africa, right? Is the biggest economy that's a sub-national in Africa. And all we're trying to do is to be able to let the world know that Lagos is indeed ready for bigger business. It's a big mega city on its own right now, but we want to make it, one of the international financial centers in the world, right? And it's only at an event like this, competing with other bigger cities and other nations, that you can get to tell your story. So it's storytelling time for us, but really, really, I'm needed from the front for everyone in the world, really, to use the Lot Mayor's show, who we're drawing in partnership to be able to say that Lagos is indeed ready, to take over the world, in the financial space, in the economic space, and to truly, really be able to tell both the Lagos, the Nigerian, and the African story. So that's why we're here, and we're truly excited to be part of this show.
What does it mean for Nigeria to be here?
Well, I mean, it means a lot. We'll be the very first state. This is the first time Nigeria is showing, at the Lot Mayor's show. There have been a few other countries that have turned around, right? And so there's no better time, and we're in need. We're going to make the best out of it, right? And be able to, let other parts of the world know who we are, understand our culture, understand that we're the center of, culture, entertainment, music in the whole of Africa, and to also be able for people to know, what we have, to give to the world.
How much should good car insurance cost you a month?
All right, so that interview was at the Lagos to London Africa's economic powerhouse makes the historic debut at Lord Mayor's show. And this is from November 14th, 2023. So this is about 6 months ago. Lagos, Nigeria. Nigeria's Lagos State marked a historic moment by making Africa's inaugural appearance at the renowned Lord Mayor's show in London, an annual procession steeped in 800 years of tradition that celebrates the history and commerce of the city. The debut signals the state's government's ambitions to become a global financial hub and to attract foreign investment, particularly crucial as federal authorities grapple with revitalizing Nigeria's economy, which faces challenges such as mounting debts, unprecedented inflation rates, and a sharp decline in the local currency. We'll get through all this. Organizers of the Lord Mayor's show said Lagos was invited to participate in the London procession because of the state's growing economic prominence. There we go. Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who led Nigeria's contingent to the London parade on Saturday, told CNN his state's participation was an invitation to the world to explore the myriad of opportunities available in Lagos. There go the Ayo masquerades. You can find these in Lagos. In fact, I want to go to the Ayo. There's a big AO festival in Lagos. I just don't know when it is, but I want to go. He told CNN, "Let it be known that Lagos State, with its rich cultural heritage and unwavering spirit, is not just participating in a historic procession. It is striding into the global spotlight, inviting the world to witness its dynamism, okay, its progress, and the myriad of opportunities available to all. Lagos isn't just open for business; it is open for transformative, groundbreaking projects that shape the future." He added, "A global financial center, Lagos is Nigeria's former capital city and has remained the economic nerve center of the West African country, contributing 30% to its GDP and more than 50% of Nigeria's port revenues, according to figures released by the state. However, it faces many issues, not least its struggles with an inadequate infrastructure, such as all that. Listen, all this is being addressed. The public transport, they have the new trains, the roads are being improved, utilities, that needs improvement, but all of this is being worked on. Lagos says every time I go back to Nigeria, every time I go back to Nigeria, I'm noticing um, small improvements. I mean, every time I go, I'm noticing small improvements. However, many backers believe that Lagos has the potential to evolve into a global financial hub capable of drawing substantial foreign investments to Nigeria. Egboje Imohuede, co-chair of the newly inaugurated Lagos International Financial Center Council. Let me write that down. All right, see if I can get him on the show. So CNN Lego was now ready to position itself with global players. Well, see, the global players are already there. Like they're coming. Many are there, and I mean they're already coming. The market infrastructure is in its place. He said, adding, the problem was the management of the market. Our market unfortunately suffered very poor management for the last 8 years, but things have changed. The yearly, let me read, huddle for investors. Amid the scramble for foreign investments into Nigeria, myriad of challenges have abound for potential investors. According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, foreign exchange restrictions and the rising cost of doing business in Nigeria were some of the drawbacks of investing in the country. Last year, flights between Nigeria and the United Arabs were stopped after Dubai Emirates Airlines suspended its operators in the country, citing trapped revenues. That's been solved. In a similar move, British drug maker GSK said this year it was ending its business in Nigeria, probably due to soaring business costs. AIG Imokwede, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, whose advocacy group Enterprise NGR partnered with the Lagos government to create the LIFC, wants Nigeria's financial authorities to address some of these issues, especially the country's rising inflation and unstable exchange rate. Focus on the inflation rate, bring it down, he urged the Nigerian central bank. A low, stable inflation rate automatically signals a stable currency. And that's the job half done. Okay, there we go, guys. There we go. So what you think? Lagos as a population has the potential to be a global commerce center. The 70s was a great time for Lagos in Nigeria. It's coming. Guys, I really feel good about it. It's coming. Like I said, I really, really feel good about it. All right, there was another story I found. Listen, Nigerian and Ghanaians working together. Nigerians and Ghanaians working together. Let me find this video I had. Hold on, let me pull it up. No, wrong button, wrong button. Let me go back. Here we go. History. Okay, where's this at? Where's this at? Where's this at? Okay, well, hold on. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it. But here we go, right here. Here we go.
Lagos state government has signed an agreement with the Ghanaian firm, Jollof Group of companies, to transform waste management in the city. The memorandum of understanding was signed by the Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, and the Chief Executive Officer of Jospong, Esther Homopariola, reports, and we'll be back with business news.
Lagos, with its vibrant population, bustling markets, and dynamic industries, generates more than 13,000 metric tons of waste daily. As part of efforts to enhance the quality of residents through effective waste management, the Lagos state government is partnering with Jospong Group of companies to develop solid and liquid waste management facilities that will meet the state's growing needs. The partnership aims to establish a material recovery facility that will reduce waste disposal volume at landfills, supply tricycles to PSP waste collectors, among other benefits.
What the government is doing is creating an enabling environment for private sector investors to come and invest in this. We're also very careful in the MOU with them. They will not get involved with collection. So our PSP operators are reassured. However, they will support the PSP system with tricycles that are self-tripping so that they can help go to areas where those trucks are not able to reach. If everything goes to what we have signed, I believe Olusosun should be decommissioned within the next 18 months. That is the long-term plan. We have to decommission Olusosun. There is no reason why we should keep Olusosun.
We want to humbly assure all the PSPs and that we have humbly come to support. What we're going to deal with the treatment on the landfill at Olusosun, the issues there now, we're going to see how best to turn it into value, how best to turn the waste into either power or composting. We're also going to look at Solostre. We're also going to look at transfer stations, the one that are broken down, how best we can develop it. We're also going to look at wastewater, the wastewater plants that are broken down, how best we can repair it. We have just come in to support. And the experiences that we have acquired over the years in Ghana, we are going to share with our brothers Nigerians.
The agreement will be perfected through the Lagos Waste Management Authority and the Lagos Waste Water Management Office to see an overall improvement in waste management. Esther Mapariola, TVC News, Lagos.
I'm Emily. I'm 36 years old, and I coach and race and.
So that's nice to see. The work is being done. Again, the work is being done. That's so nice and beautiful to see. Let's see here. We have one more. Guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, add to the conversation. If you think that Nigeria is moving in the wrong direction, or we're about to get into Niger, or Niger's moving into the wrong direction, you're more than welcome to click on that link and call in. Again, you're more than welcome to click on that link and call in and, state why you think Nigeria and Niger, why they're moving in the wrong direction. Again, link is in the link is in the chat room. Oh, look at this new Ikeja train station. Yeah, man, I like what I'm seeing coming out of Nigeria. I can't wait to go back. I will actually after the Senegal experience. I don't like using tour. I'm gonna start using experience. I'm gonna head to Nigeria. I might stop in Benin Republic. I'm not sure, but for sure I'm going to Nigeria.
U.S. media.
So I'm looking forward to being back in Nigeria. Here we go.
Reports say Washington has agreed to withdraw troops from Niger. The base in the West African country has been key in counterterrorism efforts in the Sahel region, but Niger's ruling junta canceled a military cooperation agreement with Washington last month and demanded the troop withdrawal. Protests against the U.S. presence have taken place since a military coup last July. The U.S. currently has around 1,000 soldiers in Niger. Let's cross over to Isio Erich in Berlin. He is a journalist who specializes in the Sahel region. Isio, it's nice to have you here. Why has the U.S. government agreed to withdraw its soldiers from Niger?
I think the question leads to the core of the problem. After all, Niger is a sovereign state, so why wouldn't they? I think the US learned a lot from the events surrounding the retreat of French soldiers from Niger. The French government didn't want to leave, and in the end, they were pretty much forced out, and all ties between Niger and France have been cut ever since, at least for the moment. The US don't want that to happen, so they try to maintain a relationship somehow.
Meanwhile, Niger is getting closer and closer to Moscow. What led to Niger's closer ties with Russia?
I think it's a lot about sovereignty. The coup d'etat is seen in a big part of the population as a move towards a liberation from a corrupt political system in Niger, and also from oppression by foreign powers. So the idea of sovereignty is very high in the popularity, and liberating themselves from having one partner only, in that case, the West, is seen as a means of gaining more leverage in the construction of a new world order, with Niger in a better place in it.
I'm curious about your perspective on this. Will the U.S. withdrawal affect its ability to wield influence in Niger?
Absolutely. There are more than 1,000 soldiers stationed in Niger at the moment, and it's a very important asset. And once they're gone, it will be very difficult to have an idea what's going on in the region. And that definitely makes a different situation for the US and its ability to stay in contact with the junta as well, because there will be less personnel, and the balance of assets will shift, because there will be Russians in place at the moment, and nobody knows for how long they will stay. So there are a lot of open questions concerning that.
So give us some perspective here. How has Niger's recent political shift affected its relationship with its former Western allies, for example, France? And what alliances has it formed with?
Hey, someone said the video is lagging. Like what? Like what's lagging? Like the playback of the news, the news right here, or am I lagging? My video, like what's lagging? The playback of this news story, or am I lagging? What's lagging? And then guys, links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the convo. You are more than welcome to call in and add to the video focus. NordVPN. No, my VPN is off. Okay, let's just continue.
Other countries other than Russia.
At the moment, I wouldn't say that Niger has created new alliances. It's trying to maneuver itself into a situation where it's not siding with either side in a multipolar world. And that is seen as a means to gain more leverage, as I said. There have been discussions, that is said at least, with Iran about the uranium exploitation in Niger. China is raising its influence in Niger, and Turkish politics as well. So there are discussions with many sides, but at the moment, the goal of the government of Niger, or the junta, the military government, is to not side with anyone indefinitely. They also say that the Russian military advisors that just arrived in the country, they will leave as soon as their job is done. But if that really happens, is something that has to be seen in the future.
And we're going to have to end it there. Our thanks to journalist Isio Erich. I'm curious about your perspective on this. Will the U.S. withdrawal affect
now. I'll put it on 720p.
Its ability to wield influence?
How's the resolution? Hold on, give me a second. Guys, let me know if the resolution of the video, the playback is any better now, because I lowered it, the quality, from 1080p to 720p. So let me know if it's gotten a little bit better.
Absolutely. There are more than 1,000 soldiers stationed in Niger at the moment, and it's a very important asset. And once they're gone, it will be very difficult to have an idea what's going on in the region. And that definitely makes a different situation for the US and its ability to stay in contact with the junta as well, because there will be less personnel, and the balance of assets will shift, because there will be Russians in place at the moment, and nobody knows for how long they will stay. So there are a lot of open questions concerning that.
So give us some perspective here. How has Niger's recent political shift affected its relationship with its former Western allies, for example, France? And what alliances has it formed with other countries other than Russia?
All right, guys. So that's it. Give me links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the convo. You think Lagos is becoming a financial hub? You think it's not? If you think it's not, you're entitled to your opinion. I love the Ghanaian-Nigerian partnership. So now we just don't have to just argue about jollof rice, who has the best jollof, even though it's Senegal, and like Ghana and Nigeria is like 4th and 5th. And then, Nigeria kicking out the USA. That's interesting. I'm actually considering going to Niger in October. So after I take the group to Zanzibar, I'm thinking about from Zanzibar going to Niger to see the Wudabi. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to get some information on when that festival is, and the people I'm reaching out to, they're just not responding back. But from what I've seen, the capital of Niger is it's a beautiful city. Like the Niger River runs right through it, I believe. It's hold on, let's see here. Capital of Nigeria. Yeah, like the Niger River runs right through the middle of it. Yeah, man. I was thinking about checking it out. From what I've seen, the hotels are nice. Yeah, like I said, I'm considering it. I'm considering it. So, yeah, I think the Wadabi is a subgroup of the Fulani. So I want to go see them. So, guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, call in. If not, we'll log off in about we'll wait another minute. Nobody calls in. We'll go ahead and close out. Food cannot be compared because taste is acquired and personal. I've tried all the jollof rices, and by far, Senegal's the best. Well, I would say this: Senegal, um, we go Senegal, Sierra Leone, Liberian, Cameroonian, and then you have Nigeria and Ghanaian. Like I said, Nigeria and Ghana are battling over fourth and fifth place when it comes to who has the best jollof rice. We're really fifth and sixth. Like I said, is Senegal, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Cameroon, Nigeria, then Ghana. So yeah, Senegal that's the best jollof. No question. No why it's an argument still. So links in the chat room. If you want to call in, click on the link. If not, we'll close out. I say Nigeria #1, Ghana #2 when it comes to jollof. Period. Nah. And ask my brother Fitzgerald Stevens, who's in the house, how good that Senegalese jollof rice was when we went to Senegal last year. Ask my brother. Shout out to Jose. Go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, I wanna. Yeah, thanks for having me again. I just want to say something about Russia and China in Africa, and we in the diaspora we have to check ourselves. We are under Western propaganda, so the reluctance is actually not necessary. Really, it's not. China maybe, but for what I see in Dakar, it's and years ago I saw the same in Cape Verde, and that were Indians. And there's a sort of a standard, like not more than 50% foreigners, and the rest they demand. I don't know where it's regulated. Maybe something in the UN, or maybe something in the African Union. But there's a limit. So what I saw in Cape Verde 20 years ago, what I see now in Senegal, it's like the staff. The staff is Chinese, but the workers are local. So they are creating jobs. They are the cheapest contractors, and made in China is a thing of the past, because it's been like 2 or 3 5. It's been in the 2 or 3 5 year plans of China that they're working on the made in China quality standard. And Russia, well, Russia, we have good experience with them in the colonial wars. It's us in the West, again, us in the West. They never talk about the colonial wars, so nobody actually knows about it. They always mix it into the Cold War, but that's nonsense, you know. I mean, with the Soviet Union, the world was already multipolar. So when the West were calling us terrorists because we were fighting for our freedom, and they embargoes and boycotts and whatever, we had no choice but to turn to the other pole, and the other pole was, of course, the USSR. And Cuba, very good experience with Cuba. And there's another thing, you know, and please don't feel offended, you American brothers. But when you speak of communism, I like, you know, there's something going on in the United States. You know, communism. It's not even a thing anymore. But why did it fail? Because the United States made it fail. So Dynast, sometimes you also say, well, show me one communist or socialist nation where that is successful. Well,
how did the United States make it fail?
When I hear Americans, every American, be it Asian, be it brethren, or be it whites, it's also it's always the anti-communism is exaggerated. Group economics. What is group economics? Socialism, right? So what I would like to see us black folks do is turn to national socialism, right? So Nazi is short for national socialism, but it's with the German pronunciation. So that became Nazi, and so. With the German history, it has a bad taste. But what is bad about being social with each other and nationalistic against the rest? What's bad about that, right? So your group economics is actually national socialism. All right, in the diaspora we have no nation, but if pan-Africanism, if you think about it, that's national socialism, right? We wanna open doors and windows to each other, and we want to close it to others. Why not? What's wrong with it? But those terms, if you actually look at the words socialism, communityism, and I'm going to throw conservatism also in the mix. We want to conserve our culture, our identity, is it not? So it's a mental thing. We have to deprogram ourselves and look at those terms differently, and also look at you know. Look at the world differently. I mean, we are the shop. We have the goodies that every industrialized nation needs. So we should run the shop. We must run the shop. So Russia doesn't need our commodities that much, because they have, it's the largest country, and with the permafrost, with the global warming, they will have more access, or easier access to their commodities. So Russia doesn't really need us, but we might need their weapons. For in the beginning, I mean, at a certain point, we have to produce our own defense. But China is a client. China is one of the many clients. Korea, all of them are our clients. So it's not a case of partners or allies. No, the motherfuckers are clients.
Okay, I disagree with the it's the U.S. fault that communism failed, but we could do another show on that. But say James, go ahead, say James.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi, Donis, and thanks for having me today. And I just want to talk about your topic here about Nigeria kicking out the United States Army. So basically, it's not Nigeria kicking out the United States Army. It's the United States decided they don't want to work with the government of Nigeria, because basically, if you notice, the United States Army has been to the Sahel since I believe 2012. So it's been 12 years. That military base has been in the Sahel. So basically, when that new government came in Nigeria, they're trying to go through all the agreement they have signed, the previous government has signed with the NATO forces and the United States. So if you look at it, they used the United States diplomacy to get rid of the French, and when that happened, the president of Nigeria told the U.S. Army that, I will go check the paperwork that you guys have signed with my country. If everything is okay, we will let you remain in the country. If we see something that's not in our best interest, technically we have to renegotiate. So the people of Nigeria wanted to renegotiate with the United States, because there are certain things that were put in the agreement that the current government didn't like, So like you come to my country, you tell me, okay, I don't want you to work with this partner. I don't want you to work with that partner. So we're in the 21st century. That's not supposed to be appropriate. We already allowed you to come into that country. So you don't come here to make decisions. You came here to help the country. You know, that like the United States, if they want to go about terrorism in Afghanistan and anywhere else in the world, they go with the NATO forces against the same threat that each country is facing. So that's what the Sahelians is doing. So if we can galvanize many countries to come help us against terrorism, which is a global threat, why not? Why the United States is preventing the Sahelians to do that? Ever since this terrorism is a global threat. Based on, according to the United States, this is a global threat. If that's a global threat, then China can help. Korea can help. Russia can help. Why is it different when it comes to the African countries? You know, the United States has 2 military bases, I believe, in Niger. Russia has 0. They have 0. We will never let Russians build a military base in the Sahel. They are just there to help. Once everything is done and well done, they will go. But the U.S. has an army. You hear the press conferences of the U.S. Delegate. Like they want to be in Africa because of the for how they call it for access. Donis, you don't know that access. I don't know that access. What's that access? What is it? Okay, then. So we don't know what that access means. So if you have been there for 12 years and the current government is asking you, can we see a report of you helping us fight terrorism? And that report is now provided, then you have to go. You see, as an American, you see every day the United States government voting for funds to help Ukraine. So they don't shy away from that, from the taxpayers here in America. Whatever they decide to do in a European country, they will let the taxpayers know. When it comes to Africa, taxpayers kind of don't know exactly what's happening. We, the Sahelians, we want to see the report. How many terrorists have you killed in the Sahel? How much impact have you had ever since you have been in the Sahel since 2012? The taxpayers of this Sahelian country want to see the report. Is it effective or not? If it is effective, we will keep you there. If it's not effective and you guys are there for something else, then you have to go. We are not kicking the United States Army out. We are just telling them we want fair partnership.
So we're kicking them out.
If we don't have fair partnership, they have to go. It's not.
We're kicking them out.
Basically, that's what it is. But you're kicking yourself out.
Yeah,
basically, you are kicking yourself out because everything can be negotiated. Everything can be negotiated when it comes to that. All you gotta do, come to the table and agree on something. The United States doesn't want to do that. First of all, you came into that country without even a formal agreement. You know, if you have to have a military base in a foreign country, it has to go through parliament. That didn't happen in Niger. They didn't go through parliament. They signed that agreement with the former president. Even the new government is saying that we don't even have the right paperwork. We don't even know how you got here. They kept talking about this is a $100 million or $200 million investment they made in Niger. Well, $100 million investment and we don't see no results, then it means nothing to us. Who told you to invest $100 million? Nobody.
St. James, have you heard of AFRICOM? Is Niger even conscious of AFRICOM? That's United States Africa Command. Have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of us, but I don't know too much about them because all these entities are rogue entity when it comes to Africa, right?
Yes.
The taxpayers don't even know. If you ask a regular Sahelian what's AFRICOM, he doesn't know.
Well, AFRICOM, they started it in September 2007. The first year was administrative and managed from Berlin. And yeah, does it ring a bell, Berlin? But anyway, In September 2008, the hell broke loose in many different places, and I was watching it, and to me it was no coincidence, because the administrative year was over, so they started real action, I guess. And only the existence, they started it to make sure that the commodities keep going to Western countries. So with that knowledge alone, the United States should be suspicious when they have a military base in your country. So yeah, kick them out.
Thank you for sharing that information. That's what I was just saying. It's about that time that we, like all these three government. We talking about Burkina Faso, we talking about Niger, we talking about Mali. It's going to be tough for a partner to remain in that country if we don't even know exactly what they are doing. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. So in order for even Niger to remain, because we just signed an agreement and we call ourselves AES, Alliances of the Sahelian countries. So let's say Burkina is working with the Russians and Mali is working with the Russians. If the people of Niger decide to work with the United States, then those two countries have to check Niger. Is the Americans with us or they are against us? If they're against any country, well, it's going to be a problem for us to be together. That's why we came together as one. So we have to check each partner. Like last time, like I believe 3 months ago or 5 months ago, the U.S. Secretary of State made a couple of trips to Africa. One of them was in Ivory Coast. In Ivory Coast, he made 2 press conferences, I believe, and he was talking about our alliances not being strong, and he doesn't see any result coming from that. So basically, he was using Ivory Coast to attack the Sahelian country. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, then the U.S. forces are leaving the Sahel, because there is no way you can come in our neighboring country and talk about our alliances. This is not right, And on the same talking, you have your troops on our soils. If you don't see a future of us coming together, why do you keep your military base in one of our country? Why are you doing that? It's contradictory. So we just want to call them on their contradictory so they can make it clear they are there to help the Africans. If not, they have to leave. America is a powerful nation. We understand that. They have a powerful military. We understand that. But when it comes to the Sahel, we did not see any progress with the United States with us. We didn't. They've been there since 2012. Niger is still being attacked every single day. And the military, the terrorists are using Niger airspace and territories to go inside Mali and go inside my country, Burkina Faso. These are facts, So how are they deterring terrorism in the Sahel if this is still happening for over 10 years? Where is the report? The U.S. taxpayer are supposed to see that report as well. You can't go to a country and the number of terrorists double over time. That means something is wrong. When the Malian approached the Russia, you can see how the situation got better in Mali. You can see that most of this the cities that were taken by the terrorists are now back within the government forces. They took all these cities back. The remaining packet in Mali are the cities neighboring Mauritania. So this is the last battleground. So we've seen progress when they approached Russians. You cannot deny that.
A question.
Unless
question.
You cannot. I'm sorry.
A question about
Sure.
Mali.
Sure.
Portuguese were there also. There were a lot of nations had military in Mali, supposedly helping.
Right, because when the French came, technically they brought the NATO forces and other forces. I don't know about Portugal, but yeah, they brought a lot of NATO forces within Mali. But obviously the Malian kind of let them all go because they didn't see any result as well. You know, they have more than 50,000 NATO troops in Mali at one point. 50,000.
Yeah, that's
And they're the same. Your own partner are going about talking about how your country is being destroyed by the terrorists. Your own partners. You can see on European news. They're the one talking about the situation in the Sahel being, you know, degraded, being at its worst. But you will never see on the Russian news them talking about the situation in the Sahel being worse. Why? Because they know they have a common interest in those countries. They have to make sure they can push back these terrorists, you know, so they can win better contracts. But on the other side, you see the European, when they come there, okay, your country, you got 40% of your territory being taken by the terrorists while you have your forces in it. Doesn't make sense.
Yes,
you have your forces in it.
Yeah, I understand. Central African Republic was the first to kick out the European community led by France, because they were supposedly there to help against the rebels, but they prohibited the army to arm itself. That's laughable. So they kicked them out, and they were actually the first to call in the Wagner Group. Everybody forgot, or nobody knows.
Yeah, basically the Wagner Group, everybody is focused on the Wagner Group. There is no Wagner Group in Mali. There is no Wagner Group in Burkina. There is no Wagner Group in Niger. You
No, it's
know,
over. Wagner Group group became part of the regular army. So Wagner Group actually doesn't.
Well, yeah, but you know, yeah, we can, yeah, you throw people throwing labels, Wagner, it's okay, you know. The Western are throwing labels at the Russian troops, which I understand, but trust me, the Americans troop have used listen, other groups before to win fight, you know, in different parts of the world, you know, and they have done a lot of, you know, killings. You can see Iraq, you can see other places, you know, they are not any better. Trust me, they are not any better than the Wagner. If you want to compare.
No, but the Wagner Group, we are, again, us in the West, we are under Western propaganda. At least the Wagner Group was effective. You know, they come in and problems start to being solved. So
right. I agree with you, Joseph.
Guys, let me pass it to Al because Al.
Okay.
Go ahead, Al.
Yes, my brother Dynast, thank you very much. I mean, the best African, Pan-African and Black platform, you know, in the world, hands down, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Basically, I'll start with St. James. You know, do you know what baffles me, St. James? Why is, you know, Senegal and Mauritania, they are part of this Sahel? Why these countries manage to keep the peace, you know, for so long? But Mali, Burkina have been struggling. Niger is obviously, in fact, out of the three, Burkina, Mali, and Niger is the most peaceful, you know, country out of the three. You know, they had like counterinsurgency. In fact, me and you were discussing this quite a while ago, where, you know, these terrorists were using Niger as a safe haven to run into and actually do their counter attacks. Why Senegal and Mauritania managed to actually keep the peace? In fact, what I see Mauritania doing is actually quite amazing. They actually do not give the terrorists any chance. They fight them to the gut. They don't have any foreign troops in the land. They use their own air forces, you know, in the dust in the Sahel. You know, they chase them all the way to the north to the Algerian border. I've seen different operations that they do. You know, why do they manage? How did they manage to do it? How did they manage to contain this guy? But Mali and Burkina couldn't. St. James.
Okay, so you asked me a few questions, and I know you're an African, right? Are you an African?
Me,
so if you are an African, you know exactly what Senegal represent for the French, right? So this is not the date and time for us to have a conversation about the French interest in Senegal and Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
You know, so you know. Let me respond.
Go on.
And you know, The first attack that I can start with my country first. The first attack that happened in Burkina, you know when it happened? 2015. 2015. We're talking about 9 years old, 9 years ago. You know, 2015 represent what for us? When we kicked out Blaise Compaoré in 2014, October of 2014, I believe we kicked out Blaise Compaoré. Under his leadership, my country was never under terrorist attack because we had an agreement. You know, I don't know what that agreement stood for, but we had an agreement. And these terrorists were using our country as a base to attack certain country. So when we got rid of Blaise Compaoré, when we got rid of Blaise Compaoré, the same terrorist group approached the current government, the new government at that time in 2015. They told them we want to keep the same agreement we had with the former president. So after looking at this agreement, the president then told them, I cannot abide by this agreement. So they decided to attack Burkina Faso. First attack 2015. You understand? So when this was already happening in Niger and Mali. So they included Burkina Faso within it. You know, talking about Ivory Coast, which is another interest for the French.
No, don't go far. I didn't ask about Ivory Coast, mate.
Okay, for Senegal, I wouldn't tell you exactly what they did because they have the Senegalese have the French military base in Senegal.
Yes.
You know, they have Senegal is a big hub for the French. Anybody that talk about the French, we talking about NATO. So they will make sure these terrorists do not get to the shore of Senegal and Ivory Coast. That's why these countries are excluded for any terrorist attack. There is no point of us, like, you cannot sit here and tell us Burkina and let's say Ivory Coast, we share the common border. Even last night, I was watching a report. Our military forces fought the terrorists all the way to the border of Ivory Coast. And from the border, they can see the terrorists in Ivory Coast, but they couldn't cross the border. That report came out last night. Even our soldiers were there showing the terrorists in Ivory Coast, but they couldn't cross the border. You understand that? But they don't attack I believe they attacked Ivory Coast once, and after that, we never heard about an attack in Ivory Coast. Never. Why? Because these terrorists have a way of sealing agreement with different countries. So we don't know how much Ivory Coast paid. We don't know how much Senegal paid or agreed with the terrorists. So I don't know.
Okay.
Well, if I may
my
say,
take. Sorry,
if we're talking about and also,
sorry, my brother. 1 second. St. James, 1 second.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. My take on this is my opinion, my personal opinion, right? This is a mixture of all the bad evil that actually hunting you guys down. Right? I don't know about Mali, but Burkina Faso, Mali is a terrible circumstance of the war in Libya, you know, and sadly, you know, this Kenyan guy, this mixed race guy called Obama from Kenya, that went to America and destroyed African Americans' life, and destroyed and put the black race behind, because these people from those part of the region in Africa, they have no interest in Pan-Africanism or the interest in securing the black race. They're the biggest sellout people that I ever come across, people from that part of the region in East Africa, Kenya, and so on, right? But anyway, let me get to the point. Obama sold us, you know, to the graveyard, and we're still paying for the price of it. Since Obama went to Libya and bombed Libya, right? And he destroyed that place, Gaddafi dead, the Tuaregs, you know, got kicked out of Libya with all those weapons, right? Then they ran to the southern flank of Algeria, where Mali is today. We have Niger Republic. Basically, these arms fell into their hands. And also, don't forget, you know, the opposition in Libya. You know, he was actually supported by Wagner. You know, Wagner came from south of Libya, east of Libya to the south of Libya, who actually aided, you know, these guys, who is currently aiding you guys also, right? And Wagner have the biggest troll platform in the world, right? They got their own agenda in Africa. You know, this is something that is going to come up eventually. But anyway, that's a take for another day. So since Wagner been operating in that region, this thing also has been prolonging, just like NATO. So these guys are no innocent to me in my eyes. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, St. James, you guys in Burkina, you've been promoting evil, yeah, in that region for so long, right? Blaise Compaoré killed Sankara. Yeah, even though I love Sankara, but I didn't like ideology because he was a socialist. I didn't ever think this Pan-African socialist would ever take us anywhere. Yeah, but he loved his continent, he loved his people. I know you're a great fan of him. And he's your brother, and he's a great guy. But Blaise Compaoré was homed in West Africa. He went to Ivory Coast. Yeah, they homed in there. They actually gave him a safe haven. You guys was a hub for terrorism in the region. You came to Sierra Leone, you destroyed Sierra Leone, you destroyed Liberia. You kept these terrorists in your region for so long. Yeah, you never wiped them out. You never got rid of them. Yeah, it's basically all the evil that you kept in that country after Sankara was slaughtered is what's coming to hunt you down. And also, when you look at this is a sad fact. When you look at Aswad, and these brothers in northern Mali who was seeking to actually get independent from the brothers in the south, yeah, they actually been aided also by some of these guys. I'm telling you now, the Wagner are not innocent, right? Because the reality is, how did they manage to get this weapon? Because who was in the northern area? Because we know Algeria was a hub for terrorism during those days also. So they let these guys actually roam around the Sahel for decades, killing people. It's spilled into the coastal region, destroying them. That's one of the reasons why I'm in the UK right now speaking to you, my bro. So this is way overdue, and now you guys are feeling the heat. You gave birth to a monster. You nurtured this monster for so long, and now this monster is coming to hunt you guys down. And now you actually have seeking help from different people, yeah, and this help is not working. So the reality is Mauritania, that's next door, and Senegal, they saw this happening, they saw this coming. They're not having none of it. That's the reason why you guys cannot understand why they actually maintained this peace for so long, because they saw this coming for a long time, because they've been spending a lot of money in air defense. You need to fight these guys from the air. The Sahel is not a rainforest. You can hunt these guys down, and I've seen the way Mauritania is doing it. Mauritania is not supporting terrorism. They have no connection. They don't want it. They just blast them from the air, bro. They don't want them anywhere near the territory. So until Mali start working with, in fact, I think they are doing it now, because the guys that got elected in Senegal, the first trip that he did since he got elected was in Mauritania. He went to Mauritania because he want to keep the peace in Senegal. You need to learn how these guys are doing it and doing it the same way. We just need peace in the region now. We're tired of bringing foreign mercenaries, taking our resources, claiming to be allies, and they're on different agendas.
Maybe you haven't been listening to what I just said. I just said the situation has gotten better in Mali. It has gotten way more better in Burkina Faso, and it's getting better in Niger. So we are seeing progress. Whatever the Western media are pushing towards you guys, if you decide to believe that, then that's your situation. I live there. I have a lot of I talk to my people every time. The situation has gotten better. I can even tell you from 2020, I can just go back to 2020 to 2024 for the past 4 years. The situation has gotten way better, way better.
Mali
took out Kidal. They took Kidal, which was one of the major key packet of the terrorists. They took them out without even them fighting. You've seen that in the news. That's why they run to Mauritania, because Mauritania is providing a safe haven for the terrorists. Same thing as Algeria, which came to us as a surprise, but it's okay. We're going to deal with that later, because we have one country now, 80 million people. We're going to have a strong military. We can defy anybody. Hold on. You made a statement. Okay. Listen.
Okay.
You talk about Blaise Compaoré, right? Blaise Compaoré has been a dictator for us for 27 years. a dictator for us for 27 years. So whatever he did in West Africa, he did about the same in Burkina Faso. So the same people in Burkina suffer as much as the people in Sierra Leone.
It is sad. It's very sad.
They also listen, and we were the one who took him out, right? We were the one who expelled him from the country. You understand? So before even Blaise Compaoré got to do what he did, you know what he did? He killed somebody that we loved. So
Yep.
so we already paid a big price in Burkina Faso. You understand? So if the chickens are coming home to roost, I will take it. I will deal with it. You understand? We had a conversation before where I told you Blaise Compaoré has used our country as a safe haven for terrorists. I'm the one who told you that because we acknowledge that, you know. But this don't conflate the two.
I knew it. I knew it from a long time.
Hold on. A president of a country. Hold on. A president of a country and a citizen of that country cannot be compared. We did not welcome these terrorists in our land. Sometimes foreign hands and the power that be can force a president to do evil things.
Yes.
You understand? So the citizen of that country never agreed to that. So if these terrorists are coming to my country trying to kill the civilians, we will defend ourselves.
May I add something?
Yes.
Please?
Yes, sir.
IE, I hear you speak, and I'm missing, you're pointing your finger to socialism, but what I'm missing is the foreign influence. So Senegal, okay, Senegal doesn't have this terrorist problem, right? But
No.
have you forgot 2013? Because my father-in-law was assigned. He's how do you call it when you get too old for the retired? So he's a retired military, and he was assigned for a year in Ivory Coast. We all remember what happened in 2013, and Senegal was like 80% of the French force that toppled the president there, Gbagbo, and it was Senegal, the so-called so the Senegalese army stayed in Ivory Coast as a peace force, quote
Peacekeeping
unquote.
force, yeah.
Yes. So
my brother,
all of that.
the war in
May
Liberia.
I finish? May I finish?
Yes, of course. Yes.
All of that was under the direction of France. So in your words, I missed the foreign forces directing stuff, right? So and I actually don't know how I want this to make a question. So what do both of you guys know about the Senegalese army? Because to me it looks like the Senegalese army, France can apply them, like France can take the Senegalese army as an extension of their own.
Okay. My take on Senegal is the head, and Ivory Coast always been the HQ, for Francophone West Africa, and I don't know what kind of relationship they got because I'm not from the Francophone. I cannot really explain that to you. I'll leave St. James to do that because I don't want to give false information online. However, based on what I'm gathering, is, for example, yes, St. James, you're right. Mali is getting better. The reason why Mali is getting better in the Middle Belt is because they work with the locals in that region and stop their brutality. They realize we cannot continue the way we are doing things. We have to change tactics. Remember, I said to you when we had this conversation a long time ago on the Dr. Damage's platform in Niger. I said until Mali and Burkina start working with the locals in the region where the terrorism are coming in, because these guys are coming in from the north, they're employing our young guns, our young kids. They cannot really defeat us on their own. So what they're doing, they're recruiting our young kids to fight for them until they change their strategy, and actually bring the local people in. Nothing will change. And that's exactly what they did. They actually changed their strategy by working with the locals, and they realized we cannot fight these guys on our own. We need our own brothers to stop the fighting for them. And also we need our brothers on our side to actually defeat them. And they're doing that really great. That's good. That's what I want. Mali is my ancestral. Yes.
What you are saying make perfect sense, right? And then I also touched on that. That's why we have most of our military, they come from the civilians now. You know, when he was raising 80,000 soldiers, the Western propaganda was talking about, oh, these people are going to be, how you call it, you know, terrorist forces on top of terrorist forces, because he was selecting these people from the civilians crowd. Why? Because he selected them because they know their regions, they know who is hostile, and they know who is our friends, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you kind of selected them and trained them. You know, like I said, you know, we had a conversation about the Fulanis.
Yes.
And I said, it's not all the Fulani that are bad. There are good Fulanis. We have Fulanis in our armies, but I'm sorry to break the news. I know you already know 80% of the people who are attacking us are coming from the Fula tribes, you know,
from
and allies,
yes.
the Fula tribes and allies. So
yes.
basically, you kind of ask yourself why these people are joining the terrorists to attack their own countries. So we had these conversations. Ibrahim, when he came to power, and he told them, first thing you have to do, drop your weapons, come forward, and we can have that discussions. Some of the people came forward, but the Western propaganda is not telling you that. They came forward and they said, you know, we felt like we were being left out, and this is what happened. This is what we want. Mali did the same thing. We're gonna have to have the conversation within ourselves. These conversations are ongoing now. Those people who are tired of fighting, they can come on to the table and we can on it. We can have a discussion. But you cannot keep fighting and negotiate at the same time. We can't do that.
St. James, that's the reason why it was important to have Niger in that block, because Niger, you know, have a very like the guy in Niger now, the House brother in Niger, Abraham Chiani. He one of the reasons why he got rid of the guy that was there, Bazoum. Bazoum wasn't good for the Fullers, he wasn't good for the Hausa. He was treating them so bad. He was actually, you know, that's why do you think people want the US military out of the Niger Republic? You think it's because of another reason, apart of human rights abuses, and also, you know, on the locals that Bazoum brought from them, and also, you know, he basically brought these people that practicing all kind of like kofar. These people are conservative Muslim in Niger Republic. They don't want to see prostitution. Their children being forced into prostitution, alcohol, and also there's some kind of that was a plane that was stopped in Niger Republic, full of young Hausa and Fula kids in there. God knows what kind of human trafficking they was trying to practice in that region, you know, by the foreign forces. And remember, I told you the US, the Western allies, you know, flew over a town in northern Burkina where the Hausa and the Fulani live. Yeah, it was a market town where people are out there doing normal shopping, and they just blow the place and turn it to dust. And these people thought, hang on a minute, where are these guys coming from? They was coming from Niger Republic. So do you think they're gonna buy to that? So when Gianni got rid of Bazoum, everybody was happy unless his own tribe. The only people that wasn't happy about it was his own tribe. And the Western allies also realized, you know, it's time is up for them, because that was a last resort in the Sahel. I totally understand that.
That's great, because you listen, you know, the Western propaganda, they try to bait us like, you know, for us to accept that we have a problem with the Fulanis. We don't.
No, you
they
don't.
Want to. They want to listen. They want us to make this a tribal war. It's not.
No.
You know. So whatever this some of these Fulanis are doing, they can answer that for themselves. But
the problem we had with Fulanis in North Burkina Faso is an ancient problem during the Mali Empire, when the Mosi were. Listen, the Fulani that you see in that region was brought there by Sunjata Keita. Sunjata Keita, during those days, that's when it was a fort. They went and built a fort to protect the Mali Empire. That's how these guys came to be in that region. But the sad fact is, you know, those people in the Mosi and the Fulani been living together in peace, even after the Mali Empire crumbled for decades. They actually, you know, even they in fact brought the Hausas from Niger Republic to come and settle in that region with them. You know, it's when this obviously the problem in Libya happened. Those idiot Tuaregs, you know, came in there, started recruiting our children that is so poor, uneducated in Sahel, that's when all the hell lets loose. You know, it just break up, everything just went crumbling because the Sahel was ungovernable. And this is the problem that we still have. You know, the Sahel is very difficult to govern.
But let me ask you this question though.
Yeah.
Regardless of where this thing goes, right? Do you think these people can win anything in the Sahel? Give them 5, 10, 15 years. Do you think they can win anything?
Listen, these people in the Sahel, you know that I know that these are tough people. You know what?
Absolutely, that's what I told you. This is a lost war for them. It's already a lost war.
Yeah.
I mean, why you fight? Why you fight? Why are they fighting something they cannot win? Because this is why we understood somebody somewhere is funding the war for these people to keep it going. Because we know these fools, they don't have the number for it. They don't have the number for us. Whether they recruit in Libya, they don't have the number for us. And our people are proven to be tougher in the Sahel. We are tougher.
Yes, I mean,
so they can never fight. They can never win.
Sound.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is to drop your weapon. Let's come together and build a nation and build a strong nation. We have the resources for it. If these people don't see it, then a foreign power is behind all of that. And that's why we want to go through all the agreements. Because you remember when this was happening in Mali, they wanted to split Mali north and south. The Malians saw this coming from 10,000 miles. They saw that.
Yeah.
Even with the traditional partner in Mali, they were trying to break Mali like Sudan. So the Malians saw that. That's why they got rid of the French. That's why they got rid of the NATO forces. You know, this is not. They're not gonna tell it. They're not gonna tell this to the Western world. They try to split our countries, and we will never allow that to happen. We have one nation under one leadership. Anybody that don't want this, you can go find yourself somewhere else. You know, if you feel like you want to settle some old scores, we have the fire. We have that power to settle it. We can settle it. So we don't have weak because you know when we had weak leadership, then you negotiate from a place of weakness. When you have strong leadership, you don't negotiate from a place of weakness. You negotiate from a place of strength. You know, we have one nation, and there is no agreement that needed to be signed with nobody. Nobody.
James, I totally hear what you're saying, and I think some of the things that you said make a lot of sense. I agree with them. But what I'm trying to say is, right, a place like Burkina, you know, in fact, I think Burkina is find it difficult because of the connection that they have with these people that they have problem with. Mali is easy to solve. The Mali problem is easy to solve. Niger Republic problem is easier to solve. But Burkina problem is quite ancient, you know, and is a very difficult one to fix. And you don't have now it's much more easier because you've got the brothers in the brothers in Niger Republic helping you guys and the Malians on your side now. But if you go back historically, these guys were never on your side. They was always against you because of the history, you know, of that region called Burkina.
Well, you keep referring to the history. Like, what's the history? Yeah. Let's be clear about it. What's the problem?
Well, the history is Mali and Niger Republic and Burkina Faso were never that great allies, right? And Mali had a bad history with Burkina Faso during the Mossi Empire, right? And Mossi Kingdom, you know, at the end of the downfall of the Mali Empire. So you know the Sahel very well. This whole grid, you know, can still be found in some of the communities in that region. But however, you know, having to have Westerners that actually know this very well, you know, they know the infighting that's been going on between these people over the centuries, you know, they know how to bring it back on if they want to. You know, this is what they've done over the years, and they can still do it. So so at the end of the day, I think, you know, the alliance that we currently have in that region is what will destroy the jihadists. And
Let me ask Dynast. Let me ask Dynast a question. Dynast,
Go ahead.
do you have you have the mulattoes and Black Americans, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's say like by the time you guys were fighting for your civil right, and Martin Luther King and them, they found out that no, this was about to happen, right? And the mulatto groups goes to the white and they tell the white, we're going to have the civil rights, and basically the blacks are going to be able to get together and manage their own affairs, right? But technically we don't want to be under the blacks, but we still want to be under you whites. What will Martin Luther King and them will do?
What will they do?
Yeah. What do you think they will do?
Well, what they did, so the civil rights movement turned into the movement for equality for everybody. So it wasn't strictly for Black people; it was for
but
LGBTQ.
Technically, if this was giving more power to the, like, let's say the mulatto were kind of, they were feeling like they were being under the.
You have to understand the civil rights movement was funded by non-Black people. So
no, I get your point, but listen,
what could they do?
Okay, so if most black, right, not the mulattoes, right, they were getting in position of leadership, right, in government, they were getting good contracts, and they were having a better life, right? And no, if the mulatto believe, technically, they will be under the blacks. I don't want. Let's say they don't want to. Let's say the mulatto. Let's say the mulatto feels like they can't take order from blacks. Technically,
okay.
And they tell you in your face, right? They tell you in your face, we cannot. We're gonna just side with white. We're gonna just check ins as black, as white. I'm sorry. We're not black.
Are you talking about the Tuaregs? Are you talking about the Tuaregs?
Yes, that's what happened. You're talking about the history. When we got, let me finish. Let me finish. When we were getting, Dynast, I want you to listen. I want the audience to listen. When we were about to get our independence, right? So we, in the Sahel, we kind of know who was about to become the president, right? Most of the Tuaregs, some of the Fulas, they wrote letters to the French, telling the French, if you guys leave, we want our own territories. We cannot be under these people. We can't be under the Mosi tribes. We cannot be under the Dogon. We want our own territories if you guys do decide to leave. This is where the problem stems from. That's what Al is trying to explain it, but he's scared to use the word.
No,
they were trying to be the buffer class. That didn't happen. That's what happened. The Fulani felt like they were superior to the Sahelians. Technically, they felt like that. Oh, bro, listen. They felt like it. They were superior. If the white people leave, they were supposed to be the one ruling over us. That's what happened. We got the letter, Al. We got the letter.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. We got the letter, and when that happened, and they did it, they always, because those Fula and Twa always, when they come to, why they always want to fight for territories, because they don't want to be under us. They don't.
Okay, right, okay. let me. No, you're actually so wrong. You basically what you're making up stuff here, St. James. Unfortunately, the Tuaregs, I understand that the Tuaregs always want their territory. To say Fula people wanted their territory in Burkina, that's not true. To say Fula people want their territory
use Burkina, I said the Sahel.
The Sahel,
don't
that's
take,
not
I
true.
said the Sahel.
Okay, no, that's not true, because the reality is when
did we write these letters? So the letters that I'm referring to.
Where you found this? I don't know where you found this letter.
Okay, ask the historians. The letters are there. The French turned them over. We got them.
You are wrong. You are totally wrong. What happened is okay. Let me just finish. Right, when partition happened, right, the Tuaregs, not the Fulani, don't mix us. Some of us are mixed with the Tuaregs, yes. And we are not the only tribe in the Sahel that mixed with Tuaregs. Let me make this thing clear. But when partition happened, the Tuaregs, by the way, some of these Tuaregs are darker than you. They're darker than most Africans. Not all Tuaregs are light skinned. So don't misinform people here. Some Tuaregs are the darkest black people you can ever find. You got the Afro-Arabs, you got the Afro-Tuaregs, and you got the Tuaregs. So you got to make this thing clear, because when you come in here and making up Tuareg, all Tuaregs are this and that.
So
then
and again, I don't know if you're trying to, I don't know if you're trying to be misleading. I never said all the Tuaregs. I said some of the Tuaregs, they wrote letters because they don't want to be, they didn't want to be under. So it will never be, listen, it will never be everybody when we talk. It will never be. It will be a selective few. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, these guys, they chose, I understand, I listen to you now. These guys chose to be on the black side, right? When partition happened in Africa, they chose to be with the black brothers. They didn't choose to be with the brothers in the north. But as time goes on, they feel marginalized with the black brothers in the south. I'll give you a good example. Mali. Mali is my ancestral home. Between the border to Senegal and Mali, Kututoro run all the way down there, right? How many presidents in Mali history? The last legitimate elected president in Mali was a Fulani guy, IBK, Ibrahim Boubacar Keita. He was weak. That's why he was overthrown. I agree with that, and I think it was the right thing because someone strong had to come in and take over. But however, these Tuaregs in the north, they felt marginalized by the black brothers in the south. So you are misinforming people by saying that they don't want to live under this group and on that group, when they actually chose to live with the black people, not with the Arabs in the north. And you can see how they've been treated in Libya.
If you speak French, go ahead, because you're lying again. Right? You're lying again.
No. Oh God. Okay. So right. So when you realize these guys actually haven't ruled these countries for so long, they've been part of the Niger Republic. They never ruled Niger. Bazoum got kicked out. He was one of them. He's more closer to the north than the south, right? And I think it was the right thing that they did. But in Mali, where they want to split the country too, I don't know about anyone that's trying to split Burkina Faso or Niger Republic. It's only Mali that they're trying to split too. The reason why they want to split Mali too, and that's not to do us in Fula. Our region in Masina is always been Masina region. We don't want to be part of the north. We don't want to be part of anywhere.
Hey guys, we gotta close out here in a minute. So,
but Dynas, give me a moment so I can address Al. Right?
Okay, then we're gonna close out.
Yeah, and then we close out. So Al, the last information that was given to you and you try to debunk it come from the Prime Minister of Mali, who is a mixed guy from Tuareg and Fula. He's the one that made that statement, and I took it from him. So this is not hold on. You try to block? No. Hold on. You said I'm lying. This is the same guy who has a Fula mother and an ancestry that can trace back to the Tuareg. He's the one that said it. So I'm not again saying James. No. Hold on. Listen, if you want the link, we can link somewhere else. I will send you the link. He's the one that said it. He's the one that said.
Put the link in the chat room. Put the link.
Okay, that was a press conference. So you can send me the email. I will send it to you. That was during the press conference, and because these people are francophone. So you're gonna have a francophone translate that. This was during the press conference where they said it, and I took it from him, and I said, "Wow, this is interesting." That's why I'm giving it to you, Al. So he has no interest being the Prime Minister of Mali, coming from a Fula mother, making those statements on TV. That's why I'm telling you, I was even taken aback by all these things he said. I was like, okay, I didn't know that. So that is, if you remember, hold on. If you remember, when the people of Niger, when Bazoum was overthrown, me from being from the Sahel, along with a lot of guys from the Sahel, we didn't even know Bazoum was a Tuareg. We didn't even know. You know who made that statement? The French president. He said, no, Bazoum was not liked because he come from a minority tribe, which is the Tuareg. He's the one who made the statement. Us, we didn't even know. We didn't even know. Bazoum was placed there to play a role. So when that didn't happen, these people didn't overthrew him because he was a Tuareg. They overthrew him because they didn't like what he was doing. So
who's that? Bazoum.
Bazoum. And again
Oh,
and
okay,
again,
I didn't know tonight. I don't
again
care.
and
Listen, I
again,
don't know that much about
again and
Niger
again.
Republic. I don't know what you're
Whether
talking
you
about.
like
You're
it,
mixing up
whether you
things.
like it or
You are
not,
mixing, St. James,
whether
you are
you
mixing
like
up
it
the
or
whole thing.
not,
I thought you're talking about Mali.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. There are some Fula who don't like to be under certain people. We gotta agree on that. They don't like to be under certain people. They always want to create their own situation within the country. This has been documented before
St.
you and I.
James,
So
St.
if you
James,
want to
St.
say
James.
Hey
no,
guys, we
that's
gotta close
fine.
out. We can do
Okay, Dynas, can I just
everyone,
respond?
thank you
Yeah,
so much for joining.
yeah,
Like, share,
yeah.
subscribe.
St. Dynas,
Amir,
yeah,
search for Huru. Peace.
that's all.